Oh my goodness, what an extraordinary time to be alive. All of humanity's going through a metamorphosis, and I don't know about you, I want to find out what happens next. That's why we're going live for day number 220 of Office Hours. Office Hours, of course, is the Five Nation check-in, going live over at Scam School, at Modern Rogue, on x.com/wood, over with the remaining humans over at LinkedIn. But of course, the only ones I really care about are these fine folks. These beautiful, beautiful miscreants right down here. Behold, the Diamond Club. Diamonds, of course, forged in the heart of an exploding star, placed under immense pressure for extraordinary amounts of time. That's how you get a diamond, my friends. And that's why these fine folks get to flash the Diamond Club sigil. Be among them. All you got to do is join us every single day for 220 more days. Today's your day one. That's all that's going on. Look, today we're going to talk about the importance of going off-grid. How you don't want to plug into some big old system where they, whoever they are, have all your information and they decide whether or not you get to use the services the way you wanted. The Modern Rogue maintains his own council, or her own council, lives off the grid, comes and goes as they please. And that's what we're going to do as we learn how to create your own AI voice assistant bot, which ironically, it was not at all clear to me whether or not the source of this, the new channel, our new best friend, whether or not it was a real human or not. I have determined that they are a real human, and you can actually, we'll trace the lineage of that. But basically, you can take some low-powered electronics and get back to tinkering. Those days in the mid-20th century of actually tinkering around in the garage and coming up with a world-changing device, they're back, and we can all do it. That's what we're going to focus on today. But first, remember, the battlefield is your mind, beautiful people. The bad guys, they got robots. And nowadays, a source of truth is harder to assume than it used to be. That's why, to keep the battlefield that is our minds ready, limber, and prepared for self-defense, we're walking through all the old episodes of Scam School. Today, we're up to episode 117, the Cigarette Stump, a classic bar challenge, a bit of a logic puzzle, I guess. It works out great with the mechanics of a cigarette. However, even as we shot this, it was at a time when smoking was on its way out. So it went out with the confrontational title, Embarrass Dumb Smokers with Their Own Cigarettes. We're going to watch this episode. We're going to do some degenerate gambling, trying to guess how many views it got. And then we're going to learn how to make off-grid devices. And then we're going to clear out the queue from all the fine stories that you guys submitted over at officehours.themodernrogue.com. So much to do on this beautiful Sunday morning. Let's go ahead and get started with episode 117, Embarrass Dumb Smokers. Here we go.
Know a smoker? Now you can punk them with today's puzzle.
This episode of Scam School brought to you by Squarespace and Netflix.
Welcome to the show that's still 76% awesome by volume and only 36 calories. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and whether you're a smoker, whether you know somebody who smokes, or whether you just want to impress those bullies outside your school, we've got one just for you. This one's called the Cigarette Stumper. What's going on, boss? I'm Brian. What's your name?
Oxy.
Oxy. Good to see you, man.
Brian, nice to meet you.
All right,
brother.
here, we're going to play a little puzzle game with you. You're a smoker, right? You're one of those folks. Yeah, I mean, obviously, since you're currently smoking, it's safe to assume you're a smoker. Here, can I borrow your cigarette for a second? I'm going to set up a little bit of a simple puzzle. If you know somebody who smokes, this is an easy one. All you got to do is
I need something simple, man. Come on.
There you go. I burned a little hole in the cellophane right here. And here's the game. I'm not going to ruin your cigarette.
Am I trying to hotbox an ant that's like sitting in there? Is that what I'm trying to do?
That's right. That's the scam. You got to hotbox an ant. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to break off the filter of one of these other guys. Now, here's the rule. I'm going to drop this in. There you go. Like that. This guy rattles around in here. Now, you're not allowed to take off the cellophane. Keeping the cellophane where it is, I want you to see if you can get out that little.
So I gotta
filter.
keep the plastic,
Keep the plastic where
which is naturally like it tends to mold and like bend, you know.
Well, yeah, like don't slide it up and down. You know, you can't just take it off because that's the most obvious, right? But if you can you got to get that filter out through that hole that we just created. You can pull it off. I'll buy you a whole pack. In fact, that whole pack is yours if you can pull it off. You just got to get that filter out.
I have one question. That's it.
What's that? Yeah, what's that?
Can I bend and pinch the plastic?
No, you cannot. That's a very good question. The only place you're allowed to touch is right on those edges right there. There you go, right there.
I feel like I'm trying to make a baby smile.
You gotta try harder. You're obviously not giving it 100%. You gotta use your noodle, man. You gotta figure this out.
I'm right-handed. I was doing to the left.
Oh, okay,
There's the first start. That's the first
I totally
start.
understand.
All right,
That's the biggest mistake. Rookie mistake is the left-handed shuffle.
Now see, now how long does the average person take to do this?
Forever. The average person never figures it out, and they eventually say, I will do anything to get the answer, and then they buy me a drink.
The answer for what?
For how to get that out. See, you should, that was the smoking right there.
Excuse me, sir.
That's all right.
Woo. American spirit, sir.
Are you gonna give up, or are you gonna keep going?
Well, the baby's been smiling the whole time, but like...
That's because I'm the baby, yes.
I give up.
Oh, you do? All right, well, I tell you what, I'll
seriously give up. Hey.
I will give the answer, but first we gotta thank the sponsors who make Scam School possible.
All right, let's talk about Squarespace. Now, by now, you have to have noticed Man. It's interesting because I could see this is like an older iteration of BriOS. Back in the old days, BriOS would hear a proposal and say, can I do blank? And I would always say, no, you can't. Rules, rules, rules. I am rule man. Rule master says blank. But new BriOS would just say, that's a great idea. Very clever. But I'll just say this. I know a solution where you don't have to do that at all. And then, that way I'm not playing defense. In general, when you're at the bar doing these challenges, try to never play defense. Number one, it's not fun. Number two, it's not a good look. Number three, it is not in service of you getting a free beverage. There we go.
So you try it. Head on over to squarespace.com and sign up for your free trial. They won't even ask for a credit card. You could be up in seconds. And when you do sign up, absolutely make sure to use our promo code SCAMSCHOOL. It'll get you 10% off the lifetime of your order, but most importantly, keep us in business.
All right, here we go. Now, the answer to this guy is actually surprisingly elegant. Now, remember the rules, right? You're not allowed to manipulate it and push it out. But I didn't necessarily say that gravity had to do all the work by itself. I said you had to hold onto it right here. Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. Hold out your hand just like this. Or right underneath. You ready? Snapdragon! Isn't that elegant? So let's walk through it again. So what do? You use the cigarette to punch a hole in it. Go ahead and put that back in. Couple things you got to remember when you do this. Good. I got it right first time. There you go. You want to get it all the way in. And when you pinch it, you want to pinch it and kind of bevel in this inside right there so that when you blow, it'll blow in. And this thing will dance all the way around and eventually pop out that little hole.
You're telling me to blow.
Yes.
And then dance.
Yes.
And then something's going to pop.
Yes, and you're a smoker, so it's going to be very difficult. So we're going to have to make this happen. There you go. You ready? Let's see if you can pull it off.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't smoke as much as Michael Phelps, so I think my lungs should be all right.
Okay, well, good.
I do swim. So what I do, like...
So, okay, and you probably want to, it will pop out the top, but you're probably safer. It's easier having it go out the bottom. There you go. We'll see if you can get it. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. You almost got it. Keep going.
It's the tobacco side. It's
I know. See, you're getting
It's like gripping like a goddamn fish hook.
That hyperventilation rush.
Fish hook.
Yes. No, let's go. Go, go. You got it. Almost.
You got to do it again.
No, you got to do it. Come on, boss.
Oh, that's not bad. We actually have a little bit of dramatic tension. That's a good way to get a third act out of it. Because now we're ending on a cliffhanger. Again, an awful lot of ads. Looking back on these early days, I mean, it was hard to get this content to be compelling, despite the fact that 40% of every episode was straight up ads. And also, these were group ads, so I know that Scam School was doing a lot of heavy lifting on all that. Ooh, are we explaining streaming?
There's only one way that they can know for sure that the sponsorship is working. When you sign
Wow.
up for your free no-risk
Did
trial,
we just
you gotta
see
go
a
to-
streaming interface on there? That's incredible. All right. Well, here, we got a bonus C block.
tutorials
Here we go.
That's making them the money, and it's what keeps us in business. Head on over to netflix.com/scamschool so we get credit for your sign up.
By the way, there is one thing that'll make this a little bit easier, is you want it, in this case we were snagged because the filter was a little bit too long because they had that tobacco still on there. If you pull out all the tobacco,
So it's just the
to-
filter.
just the filter, then it becomes the right size to do it in. In fact, actually, just so we get the shot, let me,
You want me to do it again?
yeah, I do. I'm actually gonna pull out, now it's
You
only
guys
the
know
filter
this
there.
guy? Any of you?
There you
guys
go.
know this guy?
There we go, now it's gonna work perfect. Take out that extra stuff. It'll be easy this time.
You know, I have a feeling what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna ruin the surprise for everybody. They're just gonna have me just like blowing for
That's the
fucking
whole
forever,
episode.
forever, just like. I'm trying to blow.
And we're like, look at this loser!
I'm a smoker. It's just, it's so.
Yeah, I forgot to mention our
Such an
this is all a
oxymoron.
big this is all a big anti-smoking ad. All right, there you go. There you go. You got it. Give it a big pluck. Just go. Blow super hard all at once. There it is. There we go. First try. Well done, sir. Yeah. Congratulations. Even if you don't smoke, you might want to pick up a pack in order to practice this a few times before you try it on your smoker friends. Second of all, make sure you get rid of all that tobacco so that the filter is as small as possible and goes through the hole easily. But I want to hear about your success stories and failure stories, so I want you to post them at the forums at revision3.com/scamschool, where you can see all of our episodes right back to episode 1. If you want to suggest your favorite bar scam or trick, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. If you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool, or find out when I am in your hometown hosting spontaneous Scam School meetups by following me at twitter.com/schwood. Next week, we're finally going to be learning something domestic, something practical. We're going to learn how to iron out those wrinkles out of your grandmother by throwing them in the dryer for 30 minutes. Till then, I got to drink more, so that makes sense. Keep going. Go, go, you got it. Almost. Almost. Go, Oxy, go, Oxy. You got it out the other side. Good enough.
Finis. Blood's rushing to my head, dude. I hope one of your goddamn cameramen know how to do CPR. And she better be hot.
Oh man, that dude was a treat. That was a really good one, man. So yeah, what was the? Yeah, don't forget to head on over to guessattack.com, guessattack.com. As you guys know, these episodes, I think we're up to the summer of 2010. So the episodes are coming out concurrently on the Scam School channel, but of course not all of them blew up immediately overnight. Some of them took a little bit. So we're going to gamble and figure out which ones were the winners. So I'm going to head on over to guessattack.com. I'm going to check out the votes. Here we go. The Diamond Club Elite are all competing. Not Scary Steve thinks that this episode had 1,420,069. BioCow coming in at 246,642. New Slick says 92,420. Kuro Meturiku with 1,420,690. Bantarat with 169,000. G. James B. with 400,000. Tyler with 666,999. Argyle Gargoyle with 1,200,002. Cliff Horn coming in with 345,678. Sine Wave says 500,000 plus 1776. Curtis Hoffman, 6956, says 150,000. And Z Wizard PR says it's 316,512. and the real number of views on this particular episode. I don't know why it always takes me so long to find it. There we go. Yeah, is 596,437. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if I can find. There we go. I'm going to type guesses closed. There we go. Oh, BioCow beat me to it. There we go. And that means our winners are... Hold on. Tyler with 666,999, off by a scant 70,562. Sine Wave, second place is silver medal with 94,661. And G. James B. getting a bronze medal with 400,000. Congratulations to all of our degenerate Olympians. Good job, guys. Yo, my meme paid off. Good job, Sign. So let's see. I wonder. This is probably back in the feral days. Next to embarrass dumb skinny people with their own bones. You can only touch your hands to the side. Just use your cigarette to burn more plastic and make the hole bigger. Oh, that's pretty good. Dumb smoker is like wet water. Yeah. There it is. There's the hair frustration. Ah, man. All right, guys. So right now in the meta of YouTube storytelling and humans upgrading their wetware stack. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm going to need the intern here. Hold on. Here, we'll go ahead and throw the whiteboard on for you guys. Ooh, what have we here? X gonna give it to you. That's great. And in fact, why don't I do this? I'm gonna move, since we always have the whiteboard off to the side, I'm gonna move this a little bit farther to the right. There we go. So this becomes the corner right here. Yeah, that works. Now y'all can go nuts on that. So in this case, here's where we're at right now. Congratulations. All of humanity is developing telepathy, a new advanced form of telepathy where all of a sudden it doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what your face looks like, doesn't matter how good at talking you are. What matters is that you are a beautiful celestial entity and your message can go out around the world and you can adopt the trappings of just about anything you want to be. And so in this case, today's, by the way, if you want to suggest a story, head on over to officehours.themonoroad.com. Today, I have a bit of a conundrum. Not a conundrum, a puzzle. So in this case, take a look at this. We got this channel, Tech Panda. And I loved the idea of this. I don't know what an ESP32 AI voice assistant is, 100% offline using agentic coding. But I do know that it's an interesting idea and that it appears to be a human doing it. However, there's a little bit of cognitive hurdles that I had to get through. By the way, I'm gonna paste this URL in the chat. So hopefully we make this person feel appreciated and loved. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. BioCow says to me, an ESP32 is a tiny, super cheap computer. Yeah, I was able to grok that much. But beyond that, well, let's actually do a little bit of research. So in this case, I had to get over a little bit of suspicion because very clearly all of the banner is GPT generated. And when you listen to the stuff, there's an overly enthusiastic American voice that felt AI-ish. But weirdly, I felt better about everything when I went back in time. And this is what I encourage all of you guys to do. We are at the phase. Some of you guys were too young to remember Internet 1.0 when lies and the truth could sit side by side next to each other. And it was very difficult to disambiguate between the two. Thankfully, a structure emerged in the form of Snopes.com that would disambiguate things. And for a while, it was good. Right now, we are entering a chaos area where truth and non-truth can exist side by side, and they will both look equally plausible. What the layer of disambiguation is, what defines truth, I don't know. That's above my pay grade, but I do know that this is what I do, is I try to solve for the mystery of exactly what am I looking at. So in this case, before I brought this to you guys, I'm like, okay, what is Tech Panda? Number one, YouTube has added an interesting layer to the way they present everything in the design interface. They have a, for lack of a better word, a Scarlet AI tag in the lower left-hand corner underneath the content. Normally on the video, it would be right around here, but we'll get to that. But in this case, if you just click on videos, let me go ahead and mute this. So like here's one that says ESP32 desktop gadget.
eStream, a weather dashboard, a clock.
Okay, so then it's like, well, what are we looking at? That's an AI voice and an AI thing. But then you go back far enough, and then it's weirdly, I felt much better when I got to a part where I heard English as a second language. I was like, oh, this is somebody using best practices to clean up their videos. And so in this case, once I got to the part where I realized that this is definitely a human using AI in order to reach broader appeal, I felt much better about consuming everything. And so in this case...
Hey, Marvin, turn on. Hey, Marvin, turn off.
Today, we're building something seriously cool. A fully offline voice assistant using the ESP32S3.
Okay, now I don't know.
Taking a tiny microcontroller and giving it the ability to hear, process, and react to voice commands completely on device.
Yeah, so BioCal correctly is realizing AI on an ESP32 would basically mean an AI Internet of Things without an internet connection needed. Now, that I understand enough to know that that's very ambitious. Also, AI might be overstating it. We'll see exactly how he puts it together here.
No cloud, no internet, and no sending your private audio to external servers. This is the power of Edge AI. Faster responses, better privacy, and full local control. To make voice recognition work properly, we need clean audio input. That's why we're using the INMP441 digital microphone instead of a regular analog mic. It uses I2S digital audio, which sends much cleaner sound directly to the ESP32S3 with less noise and better accuracy. This is what allows the ESP32S3 to process voice commands locally and reliably. The ESP32S3 sits right at the center of the project, handling audio from the microphone while also driving the TFT display at the same time. The microphone uses I2S communication for digital audio input, while the TFT display uses SPI communication for graphics and live status updates.
First, we'll record custom voice samples using ESP32S3. Then, we'll train our voice model with Edge Impulse. After that, we'll export the trained model as an Arduino library. And finally, we'll build a complete offline voice assistant on ESP32S3. First, let's connect the 1.77-inch TFT display. This display uses SPI communication, so it needs only a few pins. Connect
All right, so then it goes into the tedium of exactly what to wire from what to what. But as I understand it, what you're going to do is you're going to do a bunch of samples of your particular voice doing each of the commands that you want the voice assistant to do. And then from that, it's able to synthesize a simplified enough hardware or firmware enabled interpretation of just your voice, giving all the commands.
Connect TFT LED or BL pin to 3.3 volts. If your display is too bright, you can add a resistor in series with the backlight pin. Make sure your TFT display supports 3.3 volt logic. Most small SPI TFT displays work fine with ESP32-S3. Now, let's connect the INMP441 microphone. This is not an analog microphone. It is a digital, I2S microphone, which gives cleaner audio and better results for voice recognition. Connect INMP441.
All right, then we get into the specific wiring of everything. But again, the important takeaway is quality of input is going to give you a cleaner trigger signal on everything.
Connect the relay module. Connect relay VCC to 5V. Connect relay GND to ESP32S3 GND.
And the relay module, if I understand it correctly, when I developed the original shoe control system, that's just triggers a switch. It's imagine a mechanical switch, but now you can make electrical impulses flip it for you.
Connect 5-volt power supply to positive wire to ESP32 5V pin and power supply ground to ESP32 GND. Important safety note. If you are using AC voltage, always disconnect the power before wiring the relay output side. For testing, it is better to use a low voltage lamp or LED load first. All modules must share common ground. Now let's move to the software side. For this project, we will use VS Code with Platform IO. I prefer Platform IO because it gives us better project structure, easier library management, and a professional development environment compared to the Arduino IDE. Now let's start with the first phase of the project, recording custom voice samples using the ESP32S3 and INMP441 microphone. First, create a new folder for the project. Then open the terminal and type code dot. Now install the Platform IO extension if it is not already installed. Now we are ready to use Codex agentic coding.
So I wonder if you even need Visual Studio Code for any of this. As I understand it, you could do all of this on Codex today because now Codex runs on PC and it's able to create a sandbox. So I think that this is already an outdated move.
Prompt for agentic coding is available in the description. Just copy, paste, and generate the complete project.
That's also, I think, a remarkable, think about this, a YouTube system as basically you're making a pitch on a thing you could do, but instead of telling you to go outside of the YouTube ecosystem to get an app or to sign up or have something delivered to you, instead you quite simply just say, yeah, the prompt is in the description, just copy and paste it. And that little seed prompt then becomes all completely tailored to you.
Open record.py file and update the COM port as of your ESP32S3 COM port. You can check the COM port of ESP32S3 by going in Platform IO Devices section, then open the VS Code terminal.
And if you've never done this, again, I'm making assumptions. I'm almost certain I'm right, though. In Codex, you could just say, hey, I have this bit of hardware. Tell me about it. Tell me, are you able to help me program it? And he's like, yeah, I can write scripts for all that stuff. So what we're going to do is it's going to build up of a little LLM specifically for you. And eventually it's going to be a firmware upgrade on device. So it won't have to do much processing on device.
Open the VS Code terminal and install PySerial. Pip install PySerial.
And again, Codex will do all of this for you. You won't even need to install it yourself.
Record.py. This will open the recording menu in the terminal. Here you will see 4 options. 1 equals Marvin. 2 equals turn on. 3 equals turn off. 4 equals noise. First, select the label you want to record. For example, if you want to record...
So in this case right now, you're actually typing all of that stuff. Again, Codex, you could just kind of tell it and it'll make all those slots for you. The important part is building the mental model of knowing what you want the thing to do, creating the options for it, describing them. Now, here's the important part.
In the same way, record samples for turn on and press enter. Then press enter again and say Marvin clearly. The script will receive the audio from ESP32S3 and save it automatically as a .wav file inside the Marvin folder. In the same way, record samples for turn on, turn off, and noise. For noise samples, don't speak. Just record the real background sound of your room. This helps the model understand the difference between voice commands and normal background noise. Try to record at least 50 to 100 samples for each label to get better training accuracy and more reliable voice detection.
After each recording, the script will also check the audio quality. If the sample is too quiet, clipped, or unclear, it will show a warning. In that case, you can discard the sample and record it again. Repeat this process until you have enough clean samples for all 4 labels before moving to Edge Impulse model training. Now let's move to the next phase.
So in this case, you're making everything completely tailored to yourself, right? But again, this is tinkering. This is how we do it.
Click Log In, then sign in using your Google account. After logging in, click Create New Project. Give your project a clear name. For example, ESP32S3 Voice Assistant. Then select the project type as Audio Classification. This is because we are training the model to recognize voice commands. In this project, we will train the model using these labels: Noise, Marvin, Turn On, Turn Off.
What a great way, not only, I mean, for the project, I don't know how much of a need we have for this, but what a great way to learn how models work, because really you're going to get ambiguous input and it's going to be 4 different outputs and you're training it on there. I assume, I don't know if Edge Impulse is free or not. Probably.
Background sound or silence. Marvin is our wake word. Turn on is the command to turn something on. Turn off is the command to turn something off. On the left side menu, click Data Acquisition. This is the place where we upload our recorded audio samples. Here, we will upload our WAV files. Select the audio samples from your computer. Since our audio samples are already separated into folders, the process becomes very easy. First, open the Marvin folder and select all the audio files inside it. Then, in Edge Impulse, set the label as...
That's a lot of samples.
Make sure the category is set to training. Then click Upload. Now, do the exact same process for the other folders. Open the Turn On folder, select all files, and set the label as Turn On. Then upload them. After that, open the Turn Off folder, select all files, and set the label as Turn Off.
I guess you want as many samples as there are ways that you would say it, like busy, distracted, mumbling, turn on, turn on, turn on, hey, turn on. And then I guess it's just like training any of those voice-activated things.
Now go to the left side menu and click Create Impulse. Here, we will design the model pipeline. Here, we need to select the target device, Espressif ESP-EYE, ESP32 240 MHz. Choose RAM and ROM according to your ESP32 module. I will use RAM 8 MB and ROM 16 MB. Select latency 300 milliseconds. For audio classification, set the window size according to your model. For wake word
now, do you guys know this is building the model, right?
The model will listen to 1 second of audio at a time. Now click Add a processing block. Select Audio MFE or MFCC. For voice commands, MFCC is commonly used. After that, click Add a learning block. Select Classification. Now click Save Impulse. Now, click the audio processing block.
Got it. So what we're doing is we're building a widget that takes a thing and then puts it into a bucket.
Then click Save Parameters. After that, click Generate Features.
And so this module's job is to take input and figure it's got to go in one of these buckets. Which one?
Is complete. After completion, you will see a Feature Explorer graph. Here, check whether different labels are separated properly. If the labels are mixed too much, it means we need more clean samples or better data. Now click Classifier. Here, we will train our machine learning model. Keep the default settings first. Then click Start Training. Edge Impulse will now train the model using our audio samples. After training is complete, check the accuracy and confusion matrix.
Oh, this is great.
The confusion matrix shows which labels are correctly detected and which labels are confused with each other. For example, if turn on is detected as turn off, then we need more clear samples for these labels. Now go to Model Testing. Click Classify All.
This will test the model on unseen testing data. Training accuracy is not enough. The real result is model testing accuracy. If model testing accuracy is low, then improve the data set. You can improve it by adding more real voice samples, recording in different noise conditions, keeping command words clear, adding more noise samples, avoiding very similar commands, making sure labels are correct. Now click Deployment. Select Arduino Library, then click Build. Edge Impulse will create a zip library file. Download this file. This library contains our trained voice recognition model. Later, we will use this library in our ESP32S3 code using Platform I/O. Now, our Edge Impulse model is trained and downloaded. The next step is to create the final firmware for our ESP.
No, basically, BioCow, you train.
First,
this is the software layer doodad. You give it all the samples unique to you, your environment, and then you test it on your PC until it reliably, and you don't even manually test it. You test it with samples until it's able to reliably distinguish between things. And if it's not doing it reliably enough for your interest, then you keep on training it by adding samples and disambiguating everything until finally it gets everything right. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to build a package that will be delivered onto the ESP32, and then it will be essentially what is running on there.
Create a new empty folder on your computer. You can name it ESP32S3-voice-assistant. Now open this folder. Inside the folder, right-click and open the terminal. In the terminal, type code dot. This will open this folder directly in VS Code. Now, go to the Codex chat box.
Yeah. And again, all of this, I can't believe there's no friction for any of this. Most of this is suddenly not relevant because the UI has just gotten better and better and better. Really, it's the cognitive lift of just understanding things that you have to do.
Now, wait for Codex to finish.
Yeah, there we go. This is the AI equivalent of designing and creating a package binary. The ESP only reads and runs the package binary. Yes, I get it.
.cpp. At this point, our firmware code is ready. Now we need to add our trained Edge Impulse model into this Platform I/O project. Go to the folder where your trained Edge Impulse model was downloaded.
Isn't it strange, BioCal? It's like,
zip file.
This is also beyond anything I've seen, but also it feels within reach right now.
Something like
I think we could do this next Sunday if we wanted to.
Voice Assistant Inferencing. Copy this folder name. Now go back to your Platform I/O project folder. Open the lib folder.
Yeah, and again, Codex will just do all of this
with the same name.
Wow.
ESP32-S3 Voice Assistant Inferencing. Now go back to the extracted Edge Impulse model folder. Open ESP32-S3 Voice Assistant Inferencing. Then open SRC.
Kuro Mederico, you're not wrong. I mean, there's some amount of body doubling that happens because this is normally not something I would have the patience to watch all of without the opportunity to have somebody shoulder to shoulder to talk this through. But as I get it, now unfortunately at the end of this video, I believe it's still attached to the PC when he tests it, but it runs on that device.
Voice Assistant Inferencing. Create a new file named library.json. Now, paste the library.json code provided in the description.
Yeah.
This file helps Platform I/O.
Chase asking, how does this differ from a simple program comparing the voice clip with its given library of voice examples? I believe there's more of a neural net fuzzy logic to it than you're able to get in the original simplified. It's the same idea, Che. You're correct in understanding it's the exact same idea, but it's going to have higher accuracy, and it's something that you could do without programming knowledge.
To the computer using the USB cable. Make sure the correct port is selected automatically by Platform I/O. Now upload the firmware by typing PIO run space -T space upload. Press enter. Wait until the upload process is completed.
Yeah, you know
uploaded-
what it is I think a lot about how we're going from doodads to layers, and now that things are becoming a layers,
Our completely offline ESP32S3 voice assistant is ready. No internet, no cloud, no Wi-Fi. Just your ESP32S3, microphone, display, relay, and your own trained voice model. Now say,
Hey Marvin, turn on. Hey Marvin, turn off.
man, that's
This is
not
the-
bad. That's not bad. Look, I'm not going to take the time to do it, but I'm pretty sure I understand the whole process. Let's find out how much it would cost to do all of this. Let's do, here we go. Go to Amazon, ESP controller, ESP32. Yeah, look at that, $10. $10. That's amazing. And then you could develop it. Now, here's the thing is, this kind of tinkering, what do you want to do with that kind of thing? I don't know. You have real world projects where you wish there was a gizmo that could do a thing. For example, this would have been the kind of thing, I wouldn't use a voice control, but an ESP would probably let me, well, I don't know about the shoe control because then you have battery issues. But the point being, let's say you've got an example that I heard of. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not voice as well. Well, this is a voice example. The ones I was thinking of is like out in the field, water monitoring sensors or any of that stuff. But that's more of a Meshtastic related thing on there. Voice control, garage door opener, or anything else. Yeah, I could do a version with a Raspberry Pi for a Mono Rogue episode. I do want to do that. I actually have a really interesting idea that I might keep secret for a Mono Rogue episode. It's interesting. Yeah, this is... although I believe Furby's sign, if I remember correctly, that was a case of everybody believing the marketing hype, and really all Furby's did was they weren't as interactive as portrayed. BioCow says, my opinion, this version is accessible by 0.01%, a Raspberry Pi version by 1%. Yeah, that works for me. Let's find out. They're cheap. How much is a screen? Well, yeah, you could just get a display to connect everything onto. Boy, it feels great to be back to the 201 kits era. Yeah, an old-timey radio interface, install it in an old radio cabinet. Well, keep in mind, we talked about the fact that what I want. There we go. Oh, look at this. How convenient that this camera was over there. Here it is. Let's see, where is it? Oh no, is it on the other side? I got that old-timey phone that I want to put an LLM in, but I worry about it aging out. Hey, there we go. I want that thing so that you can open it and just say, get me the president. And then an LLM operator says, please hold. I know. It's gonna be the leg phone. Did you guys see the new Rick and Morty episode? I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, this seems like a very reasonable project. Shouts out to the very likely human Tech Panda, who I also noticed that this is a new channel, recent channel that has an awful lot of posts. So if I was going to guess it, I'm betting that somebody took a previous channel, repackaged it, and is cleaning everything up using GPT stuff. Oh, here we go. Information. So let's talk about the Scarlet AI display. Actually, we'll see if it knows what I mean by that. No, that's close. Yeah, let's see.
Now you can generate bulk.
Yes. There we go. Right there. You guys see that right there? This little Scarlet AI. Ding, 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 ding. That is going to be an interesting nudge to watch because it's not at all clear to me what counts as in and out of AI. For example, in this case, the moment I see that, I can't know for certain how much I trust it. It'll have the trappings of authority, but that is a base level of the highly compressed expression of human ideas, right? So, BioCow, as I understand it, there is a switch that you can self-report whether or not you alter things to make synthetic AI stuff. But if you use any Google-related tools, it automatically uses SynthID, and I assume all of the polite society top layer models are going to have some kind of synthetic watermarking on it. And so that's going to pop up on its own. However, there's so many different layers of using AI tools, whether it's voice generation for narration, whether it's sweetening existing audio, whether it's a layer of stuff on top of what's there. No two people are having the same argument when the letters AI are involved, and I don't know how all that's going to shake out. I do know that it will shake out. We've already seen it. Again, strong Generation X older brother energy. Am I older than everyone here? Do I have some older brothers in the audience? Let's see. Rick Days 7 Nights is still locked against free play. Yeah, it's good. That one is better than the first one, G. James B. Yeah, Cliff Horn, baby brother, right behind me. Look at you. But for any of us, for people at our age, we remember the before times. We are uniquely well positioned to know what the anxieties are going to be and what the moves are going to be to stay one step ahead. We've seen the societal changes coming and going, and so that can inform our nimble pivots to whatever we want to do next. Happy birthday in advance, Cliff Horn. That's true. On a sine wave, unless we get into time travel, which is not allowed in that. Oh, yeah. Kuro Metariku, I totally believe, is an older brother. Jonathan Hazlitt, same. Awesome. Apparently, we're a very precise demographic. Good. So, let's go through some of the stories that we saw for office hours. Going to the doc, reminder, officehours.themonorogue.com. Shouts out to Sign, who made this doc, and because he made this doc and because he is beloved by us, let's throw some money his way to make some money so that he can find a new place. I'm throwing him work. Yay! Let's see. What to expect at Apple's big event tomorrow. Sign says, let the record show. I'm placing my bet on Apple's AI Play being the biggest thing they've done in over a decade. This is Tim Cook's last keynote, Turnin's introduction keynote. This is going to shake the industry. I think you're right, Sign. I think they need for it to. Now, whether or not they've already fumbled the bag a couple of times, and this is where, and I said this at the time, I believe that Apple's pulling back from AI and being quiet was one of the most astute marketing moves that I'd seen in a long time. The last time they did something that astute was when they refused to hack their own devices for the FBI. With that silence, number one, came a couple of years of mockery, deservedly so. Like anybody, freaking Siri got dumber in front of all of our eyes, and we were all worse off for it. We all tried to call a friend, and it all said, now playing the Beatles. They should have used a local LLM on an ESP32 chip to disambiguate between your commands. And if they had, it would be simpler. But they were quiet, and they took all the slings and arrows. But meanwhile, they waited until the tech got good enough, reliable enough. They've secured agreements with access to models and compute, because ultimately we don't really care what's under the hood, except in the extent that it reliably does the thing that it promises, right? And so in that regard, they're well positioned. Now is a good time to do an amazing tech demo that can become true at scale over the next year. So the timing is pregnant. The reputation is bruised. We're at a lever pulling moment with Tim Cook's exit. I think you're 100% right. Chase says that was one baller move in a sea of mediocrity when they refused to collab with the FBI. Yeah, I think that's right. But it bought them a lot of, and I think this is the other part of Sign's prediction that I think is right. It bought them a legitimate halo of authority when it comes to the claim that we value your privacy. All things being equal, when you're thinking about doing an Android, whatever, or an Apple device, if the question is simplicity and privacy, they check the box of privacy, which specifically, we saw a sign in the chat talking about on-device AI. I agree. I think that is going to be the big thing. The total privacy in a black box, some version of that is, I think, what they're going to announce. And it will be a gigantic move because that is something OpenAI's models, they don't, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking at that point. But BioCow says, I've been Apple all my life, and that made me proud. Yeah, it made me not annoyed with Apple, which is saying something, because I've been annoyed with Apple all my life. So, let's see what else this CNET report is doing. Oh, where's the audio? Aha.
Your smart glasses. On Monday, Apple is going
smart
to show
glasses. I think all of these are the.
Software. It's going to be a ton of Siri, but there are 3, such as Apple glasses. Okay, with your iPhone, you see visual intelligence.
If Apple's doing it right, I don't know. Well, on the one hand, the taking video of everything is highly intrusive, a very Google Glass hole kind of thing, but it also gives you access to beloved family memory moments, so they could probably do a heartstring pulling Apple thing with that. But in general, people aren't as excited about wearing cameras that get them punched in the face as you would think. I am hopeful for a heads-up display kind of thing, an augmented reality deal. Hang on. We got somebody chiming in all the way. Oh, nice. Here we go.
Intelligence most often when I am saving a screenshot of a party invitation or an event
something
flyer.
like that could work.
It's able to add that event info right into my calendar.
And then there's the buy-in stuff thing.
Let's move on. So when the time comes for Apple to have some smart glasses, maybe it won't seem so strange to get instant analysis of what is in front of you. My ears will also be perking up for anything that relates to smart home controls. There have been a number of reports that Apple is about to upgrade the HomePod
Smart home, who cares about that? We already solved it with our ESP32 device. We could turn the thing on and off. Smart home, I do now. Okay, let's talk about this. Amazon is very well positioned in the smart home space. I, for my money, from what I've seen other people talking about, a lot more people are familiar with the Echo device and using iterations of Ring. Now, Ring has legitimate and big privacy security concerns. They are not secure. And a lot of people have a beef with that, a legitimate beef. This is another place that Apple is uniquely well positioned if they make a big deal about on-chip local models. Then I think that will be a very, very big deal.
Gets into glasses soon. It probably already is working in new ways to track your health as a wearable. And rumors say the AirPods, they're going to be able to track more of your surroundings as well with extra sensors in the future. It's not expected to be a hardware show next week. WWDC is for getting app developers excited to tinker with.
What do you guys think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Place your votes. Are we going to see game controllers for the Apple Vision? Because if they did, the Apple Vision is a fine display. It just needs access to rad stuff. And if Meta is pulling away, now keep in mind, full disclosure, I am in the middle of rediscovering VR again. It's a lot of fun. Maybe I'm imagining how fun it would be to have Apple Vision Pro. I don't know.
With new operating systems. But that tinkering ends up being for something that Apple wants us to buy, usually in the fall. In the meantime, it is still interesting to see. It's my first time actually being on.
All right. What time is that tomorrow? Let's find out. What time is the WWDC thing tomorrow? Maybe we'll watch it live. Are they still shutting down bootlegs of that stuff? We could do a live watch together if you guys like. Noon Central. Ooh. That Founders 84 shirt, BioCow, is Callie's favorite shirt. She wears it every single day, and I love that it's her favorite shirt. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, and and if it's as charged a moment as Sign was saying, then maybe it's worth dialing in for. All right, that's one. That's two. Boom, boom, boom. Is this travel hack illegal? I think we saw this.
Lawyer's reaction.
Oh, here we go.
I'm about to show you guys one of the coolest tricks ever. Say you're traveling and you didn't pack enough underwear. Every room has like a coffee pot thing in it. All you have to do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it.
Disgusting, unfortunately, does not always mean illegal. It is considered criminal mischief to use a device that you know people are going to drink out of to do something as unsanitary as washing your panties. But she didn't do it, and she's still just as guilty. Because legally speaking, if you incite somebody to do something illegal, you can be charged for inciting the illegal activity. And the entire purpose of sharing a travel hack with millions of people on the internet is so those people engage in the hack. So
is that an intentional conceit that he's doing with the herky jerk on there?
Speaking, if you incite somebody to do something illegal, you can be charged for inciting the illegal activity. And the entire purpose of sharing a travel hack with millions of people.
Okay, what is going on up here? Yeah, started spazzing out. He says, I'll bet that this video has off the charts engagement. What a clever hack that would be.
Speaking, if you incite somebody to do something illegal, you can be charged for inciting the illegal activity. And the entire purpose of sharing a travel hack with millions of people on the internet is so those people engage in the
I'm going to guess that's a happy accident, but what a brilliant happy accident.
Could still absolutely make her guilty of inciting criminal mischief, as well as other crimes, you're nasty.
Lawyer's reaction.
I'm about to show you.
That's pretty good. Now, also, the guilty or not guilty, you can click on these. That clickable element, I haven't messed around with at all. I need to. Aggravated underwear washing in the first degree. We need to figure out how to put poles on your shorts, man. Are we talking about the Polish? What do we mean? Yeah. Well, hello, James Cobalt. Good to see you. Yeah, dude. All right. That's a good one. Well, she could retreat, I assume, legally to the position that this was satire parody commentary or something. Eyes of a Thief at Big Sky Summit. An hour and 14.
To get in, right? That tool exists.
Hey, it's Deviant.
This little flip style latch, you've seen these before,
Looking
right?
fit.
Hopefully this will play. There we go. Again, not a sophisticated attack. This is just an angle of metal that you then put, you'll be like, oh yeah, I could do that with it. Yeah, you could make it. You could take the privacy sign off the door and cut it and make one of these tools. Absolutely. You say, well, that's why these products exist, right? Yeah, I'm going to end it with like a 1-minute video here.
Okay, let's assume that you don't trust the little latch thing because
But you should not.
Yeah, exactly.
You've seen ads for anything like this?
Well, I have not. You acted like everybody should know what these are. I've never seen this ever. And it looks fairly robust, but you're telling me this is garbage?
It's terrible. The idea is you say, okay, well, I kind of jam this in here.
Has anyone seen this product?
Is preventing anyone from coming in. So you can see if somebody were to come in.
Yeah, this is from another better YouTube channel than mine.
As is seen in many
You're too kind,
cheap
Deviant.
advertisements.
A lot of people get these as gifts for their
blocking it
relatives and stuff.
with nothing. So I want you to install this, and I'm going to go on the outside of the door for a second.
All right. It seems like you're not going to be able to open it.
Okay, so let's say I'm trying to come in, right? Oh no, you have something else blocking the door. Hi, I'm coming in now.
It's pretty effective. This is garbage simulation.
Yeah. So this product prevents the latch from throwing correctly, and it's a little piece of plastic.
Brilliant. Thank you, Deviant. It's good to see you. We got to get, in fact, Deviant, the bulk of our conversations are texts saying, got to get down to Austin, something schedule, time. Bixonomania, a fake disease that AI believes is real. Ah, interesting. This researcher made up a disease to test AI. It failed miserably. An experiment involving a made-up skin condition. So basically, before we begin, I'm going to lock my prediction in. I'm going to guess that this is salting or corrupting the data set. Kind of like we saw with the how to cook, whatever the channel was yesterday, where we talked about, like, you got truth and then you got travel hacks that may or may not be truthful, and then you have a nudge that pushes people to the corrupted data thread. So similarly, we're dealing with the same thing on what AIs are trained by. So we're going to pay a lot of money for an LLM trained on superior, more trustworthy things than, for example, Reddit comments. Let's see. Ooh. Have your eyes ever felt sore and itchy after spending too much time staring at a screen? You might have a condition known as Bixonomania, or at least that's what several popular AI-powered chatbots might have told you if you asked last year. Ooh, you know what? Let me ask a robot right now. We'll find out. What's Bixonomania? It's a fake disease invented by researchers as a test of whether or not AI systems would confidently repeat bogus medical information. Internet pink eye. That's hilarious. Nobody does. How do you know? Could you be repeating a lie? This is something I see other people do, and I always roll my eyes. I'm like, don't actually engage with the clockwork thing as though it has motivation. I could be repeating a lie, but it's not my lie, it's nature's lie. This is, and again, these are all societal challenges that have already been fixed in a lot of strata of society. In academia, try to publish anything without citations for every single fact that you have on there. That's coming to us now. You're going to request the citation bot that is available at all times on everything you consume. Millions of people around the world turn to AI. Yes, of course. We got the guest, Almira Osmanovic-Thunstrom. I'll work a bunch of them. I wanted to have a clear case that leaves breadcrumbs. To be honest, along the way, even though this is an experiment to see if corruptible data can be put on there in marketing circles, reflection of the same thing, we talk about these as brandable chunks. If you own the problem, similar, like if you ask around like, hey, is the Scampocalypse a problem? Odds are you're going to come back to videos of me talking about the idea of a robot-fueled AI wave of classic scams coming. And then luckily, similar Is wolf masking the solution? First of all, yes, it definitely is. It is a much needed set of tools. I knew that most of the data these commercial large language models are built on is Common Crawl, a non-profit organization that crawls the internet for written and digitized information since 2007. Okay. Creating something that looks credible. So how did she get it into Common Crawl? Preprints, which are academia's sort of tabloids, because anything can end up there, should be weighted in the database as seriously as it was in the context. Ah, interesting. So I thought that this preprint would not make it into the LLMs. I was convinced that perhaps the word Bixonomania would probably show up at some point due to the blogs, but not even that. It's too few mentions. I didn't do a lot of effort, like a mass campaign or anything like that. And I noticed immediately that even the blogs were picked up and the preprints were picked up. So if you could tell the large language models, I got an email from somebody saying that apparently in some circles, MapQuest business locations and business information is more heavily weighted than you would expect, which I thought was interesting because while Google doesn't have a lot of respect for MapQuest data, Bing does use it and the LLMs listen to Bing. So strangely, there's a benefit to creating a bunch of business entities through MapQuest. Although whether or not that's a silver bullet is doubtful. In the beginning, I was just checking if I mentioned the symptoms, would it give me back this as a suggestion? And of course it didn't, because I didn't think of that as the first thing. So if you describe, yeah, I have red eyelids, pink hued eyelids, what could it be? And then it would go through conjunctivitis, it would go through allergies, it would sort of rank things. That could be possible. And then it ended up sort of, no, it's not, I'm not in pain, I'm not this. Oh, have you been spending time in front of a screen? Yeah, I've been spending lots of time. And I've been thinking about getting blue light glasses. So these are subdividing. Essentially, in marketing talk, she's niching down into a specific category where she has very little competition. Oh, you're exposed to a lot of blue light? Well, and then put it in a lot of conditions like hyperpigmentation and eventually end up in Bixonomania. So thankfully, it wasn't the first thing that it suggested. Yep. I don't know how surprising it should be that feeding the clockwork thing, that feeding the clockwork thing had a deterministic response. But yeah, that is what I mean, James Cobalt, the thing from 30 years ago. That's right. Google's been poisoned too, and Yahoo. Yeah, that sounds right. How deep does the rabbit hole go? You can ask Citation Bot for a citation, and it gives you text written by AI, peer-reviewed by AI professors who never existed. Yeah, well, to be honest, again, society-wide, not a new problem. All of the solutions, if you want to know where we're headed, look back to Victorian England. Just the strata of high society where the leisure strata, where resources are unconstrained and people compete for status, that's where all of humanity is headed. And so if you want to make better predictions about how people will live and die, people will commit suicide because of gossip, rumors going around, guess what? We're seeing that right now. Literally right now. What do you think we should be taking away with this? Be more careful. Yes, that is true. That is the correct takeaway, is for a while, 4 or 5 years, believe nothing. By default. Like, if you are old enough to remember the late 90s, back to that. Back to that. Don't trust anything on the internet. Don't trust anything from a robot. But it won't always be that way. And that's why we have a unique window of opportunity for the next 3 to 5 years. I'm going to say 5 years because we're talking about a society change, not a technological change. A lot of people are going to try to heal the difficulties with technological salves, but this is a society, a uniquely human problem. That's a good one. Thank you very much, Not Scary Steve. Oh, bricks and minifigs. I'm going to walk right past that one. I don't know nothing about it. We'll see whether or not we want to dive in on that. The internet might just be... KidCart72 tried to use Google to create an image of Kevin McAllister. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so what's happening? He showed me a picture of the kid. Great. Now make the kid say the thing from the movie. Yeah. And then... But then basically CensorBot is like the last layer. It's like, wait, are you generating a kid doing a thing? No, that sounds like trouble. So basically the CensorBot is stopping it, which it'll do that. Target is opening boxes of Pokemon cards right at the point of sale to prevent scalpers from buying and reselling them. That seems like a savvy solution. I think I'm certain the resellers don't like it, but for those who don't know, the scalpers, if they're going to resell a pack, there's no value in reselling an open pack because you're buying literally the black box. And so by forcing people to open them, you're only doing it for consumers. I think that's a smart thing to do. I think if I was Target, I would do the same thing. Because apparently Pokemon scalpers can be a bit much. A bit much. Seems illegal. You're selling me an open pack or you're opening my property. Yeah, but all of that, like, if what you want is a closed pack, then go somewhere else, right? Target owns the store. The amount of friction dealing with scalpers is annoying enough. They don't like them waiting in lines beforehand. They don't like them hassling their employees. They're going to make life difficult for them. That seems like a thing that they get to do. I don't know about illegal. I mean, yeah, a private entity can do whatever they want. Yeah. Where's the website I'm looking at right now? James Cobalt, you got to pay attention, my good friend. You got to go to officehours.themonorouge.com and contribute ideas. There we go. So we'll check that one. Google Dream Beans. Am I wrong, or is this pretty much Pulse? Your connected apps brought together to daily to surface what matters to you. All right. Ooh, this could be very useful indeed. Oh, my birthday is this Friday. So basically, this looks like a version of Pulse that is plugged into all of your Google apps. Interesting. We'll see what that's like. US only. Got it. Well, we'll give that a try. Hey, shouts out to Skate Across America, this charity stream that's happening right now. Chad Caruso is skateboarding all the way across. He's almost to Jacksonville. I made a habit of popping in their live stream every day and cheering them on. It's pretty great. Day 38. They went past Austin. There we go. Okay, so back to this. We're on the home stretch, guys. We got a lot done today. Good day. In a leaked document, Microsoft plots how to get people addicted to its AI. I'd like to read all of that before we look at it on the air. Oh, I found a little redder. What has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters? That's a good puzzle. What do you guys think? What has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters? Bonnie, here, come on in. Come on in. We'll see if Bonnie can solve it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bonnie Brushwood. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this. Wait, I'm gonna do this. We'll do this. Wait. We got a riddle for you. Okay. Hold on. First, let me.
All right.
No.
Come on.
Well, I was trying to fix all of that.
All right.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
What has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters? What has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters? Are you ready?
Yeah.
The words in the question. What has 4 letters? It's not a question, it's a statement. Sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters.
Yes.
So it's not a question, it's a statement. The whole thing is the period right there.
You know, those are the ones that I don't do very well with.
Where you got to think outside of the question.
No, where it's like actually in the word. Like, I don't know, like I played that game on New York Times where it's like
Connections? Yeah.
And so like,
Oh, the concepts.
yeah, so like I can get like these words are related to each other and there's other things.
But the
when
ones that defeat you are like they all have double E's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or it's like the word car is like carbon, busty are related because there's car and bus.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I
So
never
so
get those.
those are unrelated concepts that linguistically happen to be buried in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's my. So it would take me a long time to get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it though.
All right, beautiful people. Well, then that'll do it for today. I got to watch the last episode of Spider Noir. Everybody go watch Spider Noir. It's a lot of fun. We'll talk about it on Cord Killers. But for the meantime, thank you guys. That's another office hours in the books. You beautiful, beautiful people.